Hello and welcome to the Ellen Made Book Club. Today I'm going to be picking out some of the books for my October TBR using the Booktuber Bingo on the TBR Harvest readathon, which is created and hosted by Leandra at the TBR Zero. So if you're not familiar with Leandra, she has a booktube channel and she does this annual reading event. I think it's the second year she's doing it, called the TBR Harvest, and within that she has created different kind of games that you can play to make sure that you get through your TBR. And she has done a fantastic job, and she has included so many other booktubers and created this whole bingo board system. And yeah, I'm just really excited to play because I haven't done this before, and so I'm very new and very confused and most of all very excited because yesterday she posted the first 15, the first draw for the 15 first bingo. I don't know how to say this. She's created 10 different bingo boards and I have chosen to play 2 of them, number 7 and number 8. And each of the numbers on the bingo board corresponds to a prompt that is created by another booktuber. So she has asked a bunch of different booktubers to come up with a prompt, film a little clip with that prompt and give some examples of books, send it to her, and then she has just put this together to this whole fantastic booktube game readathon thing. She's done a fantastic job, and so many different booktubers have joined in and contributed a prompt, and yeah, it's just fantastic. So today I want to look at the draw for the bingo, and then if I have any of those numbers that come up on my 2 bingo boards, I will see what the prompt is for those and then match them to books on my shelves preferably, or maybe if I have something from my library or on my audiobook app, and see what my options are. And I don't think that I'm going to be able to read everything, but I figured this could be a fun way to pick out some options, and then we'll see which ones I get to, and if I manage to get a bingo. I'm not gonna do it for the whole month. I'm gonna try to do this once a week and pick out some books, and then maybe I'll read one of those books that come up that week. I don't really know. I'm just wanting to play along and see what happens.
Hey friends, happy start of TBR Harvest for our Booktuber Bingo participants. Also, to those who may be traipsing the graveyard or hanging out in the pumpkin patch and you're just a little bit curious to see what Booktuber Bingo is all about, then more the merrier. Today we will be doing the first 15 spins for the first 15 prompts across the 10 bingo cards. That means that what you should probably do is figure out what bingo card you want to look at first. Choose your own adventure on this one, whether that be one bingo card that you stick with until the end, or jump around, juggle 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people have said that they are going to be keeping an eye on all 10, which is their choice. I hope they survive October. This is the first of 5 videos I'll be posting, 15 prompts per video. Since there are 75 in total, that means by the 17th of October, you'll have all of the prompts on your card or cards at your disposal, specifically for those who want to possibly try out a blackout board. Again, totally up to you, your choice, but I want to make sure that you had everything at your hands. Is that what the phrase is? Whatever the case is, I wanted you to have all of the prompts long before the month is over, so you can kind of figure out what you're doing at least in the last 2 weeks of the month.
Okay, so I should also mention that all of the information is going to be linked in the description box of this video. So there you will find the announcement video that Leandra did for the TBR Harvest, and then you can see what the other games are that she mentioned in this little intro clip. There's also a Discord channel that you can join, and that's where these bingo draw videos are going to be posted, so you won't find them on her channel public, but if you join the Discord TBR Harvest thing, I don't know, this is the first time I'm ever on Discord, so I'm just trying my best, but yeah, that's where you will find links to the videos where the prompts are shared. But if you think this sounds the least bit fun, you're not too late, you can go and join and just play along.
This really is a readathon that's not only about focusing on your TBRs, whatever that looks like, but also community during the autumn season, because it's really fun. So anyway, thank you to those. If anyone who is featured in these 15 proms is watching, thank you so much for kicking us off with some really great proms. And let's get to the spins. Which number will kick off TBR Harvest? Make sure you've got your bingo cards ready. The first number is N36.
Okay, so N36, let's see if I have that. I do. That is on bingo board number 8. So let's see what the prompt is for that.
Hello, my name is Nicole from Noteworthy Fiction, and my prompt is going to be related to classics because that's my favorite thing to read. So for the sake of this prompt, I am asking that you read a classic from your favorite genre. And to define classic, just think of that as a book that was published before 1975. Let's just go with that. And I have a couple examples to share with you. For example, if you like fantasy, you could read A Lud in the Mist, which is a classic that features fairies. You could also read The Last Unicorn, which is a film that I feel like a lot of millennials at least have seen. And if you're looking for a book about passing, you could try something newer and less heard of like Plum Bun, which is about a woman who is passing in the city, but is not passing, written by Nella Larson, though you could also choose that for your book.
I don't really have a favorite genre. So I'm just gonna keep it open. Nicole mentioned The Last Unicorn, which I do have. I don't know if I would consider fantasy my favorite genre, but it's a genre that I have not been enjoying that much lately, but that I'm, open to and have enjoyed in the past. It depends on the book, obviously. So this would definitely be an option. In terms of like genre, I don't even know what would be my favorite. Okay. I have The Wall by Madeleine Haushofer to read still. It would be really good if I could manage to get to a classic this year, because I'm not doing very well on my Classic 6 challenge by Suey at Suey's Book Banter. So any of these two would count for that. I also have Alice in Wonderland, so that could be an option, and this is like very short, so that's also good. I'm gonna stop there, and these three will be my options for the classics prompt. Let's put them there for now, and let's see what the next prompt is.
All right, second spin. And that is O65.
Bingo board 7 does not have that, but bingo board number 8 does.
Hi everyone, I'm Bee from Just Be Weird. Thank you so much, Leandra, for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm so excited. Over the last couple of years, I have become a fall girly. So I knew right away what prompt I wanted to give you guys, and that is to find a book with a fall-related word in the title. This can be interpreted in a number of ways. You might go for the actual word, like harvest, or you can go with words that you relate with fall, like the dark hours. You can go with a book where the whole title is a mood. You can be as creative as you want with this challenge. Still in the mood for a summer romance, because you always want something hot to go in those chilly nights. And I'm gonna give you the leeway of spelling a fall related word. You might go for the sleepless, because there's spell in there. And if this prompt comes up when you're in the middle of another book or you don't have the time, don't worry, just try to find a fall-related activity that you can spell with a title and do that activity. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Happy TBR Harvest.
I think it's okay to double up on these prompts as well, but I don't think that The Wall, Alice in Wonderland, or The Last Unicorn have any fall-related words in the title, so I'm gonna look at what else I have. Black Sheep could work. By Rachel Harrison. I think black is, a color that I would associate with fall. It's getting dark outside and everyone's wearing black, at least in Sweden. I think that The Garden by Nick Newman would also be a good option, because, the garden is where you can see a lot of, the fall season changes, like the leaves turning color and things are, what's it called? Like the plants are dying, wilting, decaying. Yeah, lots of things happening in the garden in the fall season, and also like harvesting vegetables if you are growing those. And so yeah, I think the garden is a very good option. Like, this is a fantasy horror book, The Garden, and Black Sheep is a horror novel, so both of these would be good for spooky season. Anything else? And also, do I need anything else? I guess Stone Yard devotional could also be an option. Like, yard in the same sense that the garden is fall related, and you can see lots of seasonal changes in a yard, and there's lots of yard work to do in the fall. I was also thinking that A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher could be a good option because of like bones and yeah, things decaying. And also like just the vibes are spooky, and also you're like indoors a lot in the fall season. So house would also work. I don't think that this is the one that I'm gonna go with. I don't know. I think all of these are great options and I want to read them all, but I don't think I can keep like 4 options because then I'm gonna have so many to narrow down later. I think I'm gonna put Black Sheep back on the September TBR. I think I'm gonna go with The Garden for this prompt by Nick Newman, just because like it's on my seasonal TBR that I made a video of, or like fall related books. And yeah, I think this is the one that I'm gonna put on my TBR, and maybe these will be good options for other prompts. We'll see. Okay.
Let's see what our third number is going to be. That is G48.
I do have that on bingo board number 7, so let's see what the prompt is for that.
Hey besties! First of all, thank you Leandra for inviting us to Booktuber Bingo. We're so excited to be a part of it and give you a prompt.
We're Books, Beverages, and Besties. I'm Sharilyn.
And I'm Tabatha.
And our prompt for you is an activity to do something with your bestie. Whether that's reading a book, or buying a book, or looking up books, or getting coffee, or anything, as long as you're doing it with your bestie.
Mm-hmm. And your bestie can be anyone. It can be your actual bestie, it can be a relative, your spouse, your dog, if you want to take your dog on a walk. Like she said, buddy read, so a book could count. Just anything with a bestie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Why are they so cute?
Okay, so a fall activity. Did you say fall activity? No, just an activity. Okay. 48. Okay, so that's our first activity prompt, and it's a really good one. So it's not a book prompt, so I don't have to choose anything now. We'll see what that ends up being. So yeah, let's see what the next spin gives us.
The next number is B11.
B11. Let's see if I have that. I do. Have I had all of the numbers so far? Okay, B11. 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 Okay. What is that?
Hi guys, I'm Meri from the Pumpkin Files, and my prompt for you is to read a vampire book that is not in the top 10 most popular, most read vampire books. I want you to read some underrated vampire book for this October season, and I still don't know which one I'm gonna read because I have been reading a lot of underrated vampire books, but that is my prompt to you, and please, I hope you find a good vampire book. I hope you find a 5-star book for this TBR challenge. And that being said, happy Harvest TBR everyone. Bye.
Okay, hear me out. Meri has a great video that highlights various vampire books. Is she a fan of them? No, but this could be a great place to start, especially if you're looking for one that's under the radar and you're trying to avoid the really popular ones. I'm sure she discusses those too.
Okay, so I don't think I have any vampire books on my physical TBR because that is not something that I typically read. There is one book that I have been interested in that is a vampire story, and that is a Japanese or a Korean novel. I can't remember which, and so I think it was like a bestseller in that country, whichever one, but it's just come out in a English translation, and I saw it in a bookstore the other day and I didn't get it, but now I'm thinking maybe I should get it. We'll see. We'll keep that as an option. It's called The Midnight Shift. I will link the video with where I talked about it in my new releases for August, I think it was. I will link that in the cards and in the description, and you can hear more about it there. But yeah, that's gonna be one of my options at least, and we'll see if I can come up with anything else. Okay, let's see what the next spin is.
Back to the bingo cage. The next number is G55.
G55, do I have that? Yes, I do. Oh my god. I thought there would be lots of numbers that I didn't have on these boards, and now I'm just like hitting all of them.
Happy TBR Harvest! What's up, my loves? My name is Paige from the channel Pages with Paige, and I am on a quest to feel things in books once again. So my challenge to you is to read a book that is going to have you in your feels. So I have 5 examples of ones that had me feeling the feels and crying my eyes out. But if you do want to go like a steamy route or romance and just feeling all the love or feeling all the autumnal vibes and feelings, feel free to interpret it that way. But if you want something that's, you know, going to kill your soul a little bit, I have Female of the Species by Mindy McGuinness, Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake, A Heart in the Body and the World by Deb Coletti, My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, or Their Town by Frederick Bachman. So best of luck. I hope you find something that gets you in your feels.
Okay, a book that will make me feel something. I feel like they all could be. I'm not sure what I would like to feel. I would like to feel just ecstatic about a good book. So I don't know if that counts. I don't want to feel scared, but like I guess fear would be a feeling that you could feel from a book. Okay, I know what I'm gonna pick. I'm going to pick the Heartstopper series for this prompt because it makes me feel all giddy and happy and cozy and just yeah, I just love this series. And I have volume 4 and 5 out from the library at the moment, so that's going to be my pick for the In Your Feels prompt, and I'm pretty confident I can finish this book, so that's also a good thing. It's always good to have some short options. Okay, good. Okay, let's see what the next spin is.
Next bingo ball is B1.
B1 I don't have. Okay. That's good. Okay, that's good. I don't have B1, so we can skip this one, okay?
This is our 7th number, if you're keeping track. We have I-24.
Do I have that? I don't. Okay, we can skip this one too.
Next number is I-16.
I don't have that either.
Your next number is going to be G58.
I don't have that either.
All right, let's see what our next prompt is. First, the number, which is B2. That is B2.
Okay, I do have B2 on my number 8 bingo board, so let's see what the prompt is for that.
Hello everyone, my name's Kelsey from Reads with Kelsey, and since I'm a Canadian booktuber, my prompt is going to be to read from a Canadian author. I have some recommendations here. I've read from all of these authors, not necessarily these books, but from all of these authors. First up, we have Ian Reid, Robin Harding, Ashley Audrain, Sherry Lapina, and Jennifer Hillier. Good luck.
Oh, that was a quick one. Okay. A Canadian author. I do have a couple options for that, I think. The first one that comes to mind is The Break by Katharina Vermette, which I have started and sort of put on pause, but this is a library book, so I should try to get to it. So that's one option. And then I also have Rouge by Mona Awad, who is also coming out with the sequel to Bunny, which is We Love You, Bunny. Yeah, that's coming out really soon, and I might have ordered that. I think that's probably going to be the one and not Rouge. And I really do hope to get to that one. Yeah, those are going to be my options. The Break by Katharina Vermette and or We Love You, Bunny by Mona Awad. Oh, I also have Women Talking by Miriam Taves on my list of 25 books to get to in 2025, so that could also be an option because that's also a Canadian author. So yeah, 3 options for that I really want to get to. I feel like the most likely one is We Love You Bunny, but we will see. Okay, let's see what the next number is.
And in case anyone's wondering, there have been no bingo so far. The next number is N44.
Do I have that? No, I do not. Okay, then we can skip this one.
Hi everyone, I'm
Oh,
Laura,
it's Laura.
All right, next number is I-22.
I-22, do I have that? No, I don't. Okay.
And happy spooky season!
I love Kelsey so much. Be sure to check out her channel because she has so many Halloween or spooky recommendations. You can't go wrong. The next number, though, is 072.
I have
Hi
that.
everyone, my name is Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, and there are a lot of things on my channel that I'm known for that I could use to give you a prompt for TBR Harvest. I mean, I love coffee. We could lean into that. I love dark academia. I'm almost an exclusively audiobook reader at this point, and I really adore a retelling and a fairy tale. And that is the one that I'm going to lean into. And I am going to ask you to read a book that has nostalgia vibes for you. Whether that's a reread of a book that you absolutely love that just feels nostalgic, or a retelling of a story that has nostalgia vibes for you. I want you to read a book that has some nostalgia attached to it, however that works for you. And happy harvest, friends.
Okay, I thought we were gonna stop at like retelling or mythology or like fairy tales because that would have been a lot easier. But nostalgia is good too. I don't really know. I don't want to reread anything, I don't think. I have so many other like new books. Maybe The Last Unicorn is going to give me some nostalgic vibes just because it's a sort of middle grade. Maybe Heartstopper could work for the nostalgia prompt as well because it's giving like high school vibes and, you know, first crush and things like that. So yeah, maybe I will double up on this prompt and go with the Heartstopper series. I could do volume 5 for this prompt. My other option, if it was like a retelling, would be White Cat Black Dog by Kelly Link, which is a short story collection that I am in the middle of and I really need to get a move on. So I think this could also work, but like more going with the retellings of fairy tales vibes because that's what this is. So yeah, Heartstopper and or White Cat Black Dog I think I'm going to use for this prompt.
The next number is 061.
Do I have 061? I do not, so we can skip this one.
We've got G49. That is G49 to round off this first 15.
I do have that. Okay, on my bingo board number 7. Why is there 0 there? Oh, okay. What am I doing? What? G49. G49.
Hey there, I'm Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, and I am someone who is doing a big TBR challenge for 2025 and really trying to tackle my TBR. So my prompt for you is to read the book that you have been dreading the most on your TBR.
No.
This can be because it's such a big book that you're intimidated by it, or it's a book that you've had for a long time and you're not sure you're still interested in it, or it could even be a 5-star prediction but you're dreading it because what if it isn't a 5-star? Feel free to interpret that prompt any which way you like. Happy reading.
There are definitely some books that I am intimidated by that I could pick for this. You know, the one that comes to mind is Hours by Philip B. Williams. I've tried this, or like I've started this a couple of times and I just can't really seem to continue with it. I don't understand why, because it does seem really good and I want to read it. There's just a mental block in my mind, so that's an option, but I don't want to put this on my October TBR because I just think it's going to keep being, you know, intimidating and not make me as excited about it, so I'm not going to pick that one. I do think that I'm kind of scared to read the The Book of Guilt by Catherine Chidgey, because this is a 5-star prediction and I am scared to be disappointed, and I'm also scared for it to be like over because when I've read it I can never read it again for the first time. So this is one that also intimidates me a little bit and that I'm like pushing off reading. Yeah, because I'm just scared. I'm also a little bit scared to read Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, just because horror is not my comfort zone. So this could also be an option. I also think that I have been dreading The Darlings of the Asylum by Noel O'Reilly, because this doesn't have the best average rating, and some of the reviews that I've seen have been pretty bad. It's not a super chunky book, but it's not the shortest book either. It's, you know, a bit of a commitment if it's a bad book. So I have been dreading this one a little bit. I also have definitely been dreading The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, just because I know that this is going to be a tough read. This could probably also work for the In Your Feels prompt, and the feeling would then be anger. But I don't think that I'm in the mood to feel angry this month. I'm gonna put that one back. And then I have The Darlings of the Asylum, Black Sheep, and The Book of Guilt. And I do definitely think that The Book of Guilt is the one that should go on my October TBR. I also have The Garden on my October TBR. Should I put this one as well? I guess I should. I think I'm gonna put Black Sheep back again. That is on my September TBR, so hopefully I will be able to get to that before the end of the month. We'll see. The Darlings of the Asylum or The Book of Guilt. Okay, so I realized this is getting to be a lot. I was expecting to like hit 2 or 3 numbers on each bingo board, and so then I would have like 5 or 6 books tops to choose from. I don't know why I expected that, but it turns out I have 8 prompts to pick books for, and that's a lot for me to read in a month. I'm gonna have to be a bit strategic, and it occurred to me that this is a bingo board, so I'm supposed to get bingo. And so I'm going to prioritize the books that are on numbers where it's more likely that I will get a bingo. So like I hope I'm playing that right. I don't know. That's what we're going with. So the best chance I have so far to get a bingo is on my number 7 bingo board, and there we have 3 numbers in a row in the G column. So we have G55, which is to read a book that will have you in your feels, and for that I have Heartstopper, so that goes on the TBR. And then we have G49, which is to read a book that you've been dreading, and for that I'm going to go with The Book of Guilt by Catherine Chidgey, because I realized that I was trying not to pick this one, and so that is actually a book that I'm dreading. I don't want it to be over, and I don't want to be disappointed, and so yeah, I'm definitely dreading this one. Even though I also want to read it really bad, and so I'm picking this one. For G48, we had to do an activity with a bestie, and they mentioned a buddy read, so I have a buddy read ongoing, but that's, you know, not on a book that I have picked for this, but I do have a buddy read going with Melanie at A Dark Corner of the Library. We're reading Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk at the moment, and so that could also count. If not that, I'm probably gonna do an activity with my boyfriend, who is my bestie, and we could go for a walk or go to a coffee shop or something, like something a little bit low-key, or like fall cozy vibes. We could read together or watch a movie or something, and so I think that's going to be my best bet to get a bingo on this board. And that was pretty straightforward because those are 3 in a row. On my bingo board number 8, it's a little bit more tricky because the numbers are so spread out, but I do have 2 chances to get bingo on this one so far, and that is either the bottom row or the O column. And the number that will give me both of those options is 072. And that one is also on my number 7 bingo board. So that would give me another good chance to get a bingo. And that prompt was to read a book that gives you like nostalgia vibes. I'm either going to count Heartstopper for this prompt as well, because this is a very nostalgic series. If I managed to read a short story in White Cat, Black Dog by Kelly Link, I could count this one for that as well, just because of the fairy tale retelling thing, you know? So that's going on my TBR as well. And then we have 065. Stop it. The Garden by Nick Newman. This is very fall and I really want to read this, so I'm putting this one on the TBR as well for the prompt to read a book with a fall related word in the title, and I think that The Garden is very fall related. And then the final prompt for this board that I'm going to prioritize is B2, that is to read a book by a Canadian author, and I do have The Break by Katharina Vermette that I have started, but the more likely one that I'm going to read is We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. That is coming out very soon and I'm very excited for that one, and so yeah, that's going to be my pick for that prompt. To recap, I have Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, The Book of Guilt by Catherine Chidchi, one short story from White Cat, Black Dog, The Garden by Nick Newman, We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad, and then an activity with a bestie, which I feel like is a very good prompt. What a fantastic TBR so far. And yeah, I hope I get to all of these. Thank you so much to Leandra for putting all of this together. And thank you to all of the booktubers who have contributed prompts. I will have everyone that I have shown or mentioned in this video linked in the description so that you can go and check out their channels and subscribe if you want to, and all of the information about the TBR Harvest and all of the different games and stuff, all of that will be linked in the description so you can join in. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading these books now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day and I will see you in the next one.